Do I just shower without my podcast, or do I risk turning the Wi-Fi on? Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah and I'm a 25-year-old musician living in New York City. And for the next week of my life, I am not going to use my phone in the morning time. Basically, the other day, I got an email that kind of annoyed me a little bit and stressed me out first thing in the morning. I was laying in my bed, I picked up my phone, still laying in my bed, and checked it, and was just in a bad mood for really the entire rest of the day. And that was kind of the catalyst for this decision. That very day, as if it were my destiny, I stumbled across an article online about how it is best to not use your phone for the first hour after waking up. And I decided, I can try that. So for the next week, at least, I'm not going to be using my phone for an hour after waking up, and I'm going to be documenting it here for all of you guys to watch. Just a couple of clarifications. Within the rules I have set for myself, I can use my phone as a clock or an alarm, or to listen to a podcast that I have downloaded. I just have to leave it in airplane mode. And this is because I use my phone as my alarm clock, and I use it to listen to podcasts when I'm in the shower or doing my hair or whatever. But as long as I don't take it off airplane mode and can't access my email or social media or text messages, we're good. I know that it seems a little dramatic that I'm making a whole video about not using my phone for an hour, but I just want to see how this affects me. Maybe it's going to be life-changing. Maybe I'm going to love it. I don't know. Maybe after a week I'm going to fall into some sort of routine where I'm not necessarily timing it exactly to an hour, or maybe I can even manage to take it off airplane mode and not look. But right now, that is not the case. I need these strict rules. So the reasons I'm doing this. 1, I'm tired of thinking about work first thing in the morning and feeling like I need to respond immediately. Now, I know I don't need to respond immediately, but when I see it there, it drives me crazy not to. So it would be better for me to just not see it. Number 2, I spend too much time in the bed in the morning scrolling. Now, I don't think that this is actually because of an addiction to my phone or anything like that. I think it's that I have a lot of trouble getting up in the morning, and if I have something to do while I'm laying there in bed, I don't get bored enough to get up. I also just want more time to myself before dealing with the influence of the outside world in any source. I don't want to get emails, I don't want to read the news, I don't want to see anything annoying on social media. I just want to spend some time with me first. So this morning was my very first time trying this. Before I fell asleep, I put my phone into airplane mode and knew I could not take it off until an hour after I woke up. So I actually woke up at some point in the middle of the night. I'm not even sure when because I didn't check the time on my phone. And I went to the bathroom, got back in bed, fell pretty much straight back to sleep, which is awesome for me because I have the worst tendency to wake up in the middle of the night and literally not be able to go back to sleep for hours. And sometimes in this gap, I don't normally pick my phone up right away or anything, but after I can't sleep for 10-15 minutes, I just get really frustrated and bored, and then I'll get on my phone, which probably keeps me awake even longer. So this was also kind of part of the reason I'm doing this. So then, when I woke up in the morning for real, I laid in bed and stared at the ceiling for about 10 minutes, and then I got up and I went and put on some coffee. While the coffee was brewing, I went in the bathroom, washed my face, touched up my hair because I wasn't going to wash it this morning, all of that kind of morning stuff that you don't need to hear about in detail. At this point, I'd been awake for 25 minutes, and I went back and grabbed my coffee and sat down on the couch and started to journal. After 16 minutes, I wrote this all down. After 16 minutes of that, I got out my planner and filled out today's planner page and just kind of structured my day. That took about 12 minutes, and then I spent the rest of the hour finishing up my journal entry that I stopped dead in the middle of to do my planner page. I don't know. And then played with Rory for a few minutes, and my hour was up. I felt a little bit anxious throughout the hour, specifically before I got into journaling when I was just kind of doing mundane tasks, because I was worried that I had an email or something that I needed to reply to. And again, I know how dumb this sounds. Anybody that is trying to get up with me, if they need me within the hour, they're gonna call me. It is not that important. why I can't break that thought cycle. Hopefully I will by the end of the week. That's kind of the whole point. But after I got into journaling and doing my planner and everything and had something else to focus on, it didn't bother me at all. The rest of my day was pretty good. I was very productive today, and I wasn't really stressed out at all either. And I just wonder how much of that would have happened anyway, and how much of it was a direct influence of not using my phone this morning. I guess we'll get a better idea of that throughout the rest of the week. Hello, day 2 of not using my phone in the morning went a little less smoothly than day 1 did. I woke up about an hour before I actually got up and did that thing where I just lay in bed, not getting out of bed because I'm real lazy in the mornings. And I just fell back asleep for about an hour. So then when I actually woke up for real, I laid in bed for about 10 minutes without falling back asleep and got up and put my coffee on. Then I went and brushed my teeth and started to get in the shower when I realized that I made the mistake of not downloading my podcast the night before. So I was faced with a decision. Do I just shower without my podcast, or do I risk turning the Wi-Fi on? So I decided, I pulled up Spotify, brought up the podcast that I was gonna listen to, and then very quickly turned the Wi-Fi on and hit play and flipped the phone over so I could not see anything. So I took my shower, got out, brushed my hair, put on deodorant, did the things you do when you get out of the shower, went and poured my coffee and came to the couch to journal. At that point, it had been about 40 minutes since I'd woken up, so that covered a big chunk of the hour, and I used about 10 minutes to journal, and then for the last 10 minutes, I just sat on the couch and chatted with Ross about some YouTube ideas. I think today I was a little more anxious about not checking my phone than I was yesterday because I woke up a little later because of falling back asleep. And last night I had responded to an inquiry about a student wanting to take lessons with me, and I always try to get back to potential students really quickly. I also found that because Ross and I were discussing some YouTube ideas in that last few minutes, I really wanted to get on YouTube and look at some other similar content, and so within the last 3 minutes of the hour, I was staring at the clock waiting for it to be time. But you know, if I could just get out of bed at a reasonable hour, this would not be a problem. All right, we're back on day 3, and I'm worried this is gonna get a little repetitive. Do you guys care about this? If you don't, I'm sorry. Here's Rory. All right. Oh. So yesterday, something very exciting happened. I got this. This is my brand new iPhone 11. I did not get the 12. I'm not that fancy. I wasn't gonna pay that much for it. But I had been using an iPhone 7 for the past 4 years. So this seems like a major upgrade. I've just discovered portrait mode, and wow, I'm so much prettier than I thought I was. Anyway, I set an alarm on my new phone that I woke up to this morning blaring. It was so loud. Way louder than I was used to on my other phone. I need to turn that down. I need you to stop stealing my thunder, Rory. So, pretty basic morning. When the alarm went off, Rory came and jumped on my chest, which she does sometimes. It's really cute. It's like she knows that I'm awake now and that she can come and get cuddles. She didn't want to disturb me while I was still sleeping or something. Adorable. Anyway, so I laid there and snuggled with Rory for about 10 minutes, I think, until she was done. And then I got up and I put on my coffee and I went and brushed my teeth and got in the shower. Pretty repetitive. I'm sorry. There's only so much you can do first thing in the morning, right? So I've documented that whole process took 27 minutes. So we've got 10 minutes of cuddling Rory, 27 minutes of that. We're 37 minutes into the hour. So I went and I poured my coffee and I sat down on the couch and I read my book for the rest of the time. Actually, until about 10 minutes over. So it was fine. It was fine. It was not at all stressful. It's also a Sunday, so I just really wasn't that worried about getting back to anybody's emails or anything, which probably helped. Yeah, so far this is going great. It is day 4. No groundbreaking news today. I woke up and did my usual laying in bed for about 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes seems to be the normal amount of time that I just lay in the bed. Then I got up and I made the bed, and I realized that this was the first time over the course of this video being made that I've made the bed, and that is because usually I am the first one to get out of the bed. Ross usually gets up a little later than me, not too much. He normally gets up within that next hour, but he's usually the one to make the bed, and I'm usually the one to make the coffee. But this was actually flipped today. So after that, I brushed my teeth, washed my face, and poured my coffee and went to the couch. And it had now been about 20 minutes since I got up. Or since I woke up? Yes, it had been 20 minutes since I woke up. So at this point, I got my planner out, and I spent a little longer on my planner this morning because it was a Monday. So I was not only doing my daily page, I was also doing my weekly page. And they also have this section in the planner I use where you review the past week. And I hadn't done that yet, so I did that too. By the time I finished my planner, it had been about 50 minutes. So at this point, I decide I am going to go get this hand mask that I bought at Target the other day because my hands have been super dry, and put it on my hands while I wasn't allowed to be touching my phone. So I sat with these weird little gloves with avocados all over them on my hands and watched some YouTube with Ross for the rest of the time. I honestly had no desire to use my phone. I did not want the hour to end, and I think it's just because I had a whole lot of work to do today. And I was just really enjoying not having to get into that yet. Day 5. I woke up, laid in bed for 11 minutes this time. We all know about that. And then I got up and immediately got in the shower and listened to my podcast because this morning, Ross made the bed and made the coffee. So shout out to him for doing that. After I got out of the shower, I had been awake for 35 minutes. I went and poured my coffee and went to the couch and started to journal. Also, I looked out the window and saw that it was snowing. And for maybe the first time since I was literally a child, I was so excited that it was snowing. I normally hate snow, I hate cold. If it's cold, I just don't want any part of it. To be honest with you, I had a really rough night last night, and I've just been feeling like everything is so monotonous. Every day feels exactly the same. I kept telling Ross I felt like I was trapped in a box. So just having something different about today was nice. So then for the remaining 25 minutes, I just journaled and kept taking breaks to watch the snow out the window. I think because I was just feeling so rough last night, and that kind of bled into this morning, it was kind of like yesterday again, where I didn't want the hour to end because I didn't want to have to get to work. I just felt kind of tired, and I had a little headache, and I was just enjoying relaxing and watching the snow. On day 6, I laid in bed for 13 minutes after waking up, for those of you who are so intrigued by the amount of time that I lay in bed in the morning. I truly know how much you care. Ross and I got out of bed at the same time this morning, so I made the bed and he made the coffee. Then I just washed my face, fixed up my hair because I wasn't washing it today, and poured my coffee and came and sat down on the couch. Apparently all of those things took a whole 25 minutes to do. Not really sure why. I guess I was moving slow this morning. And then I came to the couch and got out my old cell phone. I can do that, right? It's okay that I was on my old cell phone. I wasn't checking notifications or anything. It's not usable anymore. But I got that out to prepare it to send to Apple because I'm trading it in for this new phone that I got. But I didn't get very far with that because it told me that I had to update the iOS, which of course takes forever. So I set the phone back down while it was updating the iOS and just watched How I Met Your Mother with Ross for the rest of the time. We pretty frequently have How I Met Your Mother on in the morning because sometimes we fall asleep at night with it on and then wake up and it's still on and we just keep watching it. Today was totally fine. I feel like the initial anxiety of not checking my stuff in the morning is starting to wear off, which I'm really excited about. I'm really enjoying not having my phone in the morning. I'm just taking a little time to do other things. And I've said before that I don't feel like I'm especially addicted to my phone or anything, you know, any more than anyone else is at this point. But I feel like when I'm talking about this, it doesn't sound that way. It's not that I'm wasting every morning just sitting on my phone forever and ever. It is interesting to see how much time you gain back to do other things in which you might just be mindlessly scrolling and not realizing how much time is passing. So it's really interesting to look at this in these hour chunks and see all that you can actually do in an hour. So today is the final day of this no using my phone in the morning experiment. And this morning was definitely the most different thus far because I went to a Pilates class this morning. So I got up and I didn't use my phone and I got ready for the class. I made some coffee and put on my workout clothes, brushed my teeth, threw my hair back, all of that. Of course, didn't shower because I did that after Pilates. And then I walked to the class and I did the class, which was 45 minutes. And then I didn't use my phone at all until I got home. So it was actually more like 2 hours this morning that I didn't use my phone. It felt totally fine because I was busy and occupied and wouldn't have been using my phone really even if I wasn't doing this experiment. So we're at the end of the experiment. My take on this is that I thought it was really good for me to do. And it was good for me to have a week of not waking up and being immediately stressed out by my emails or what's going on in the news or whatever else. I don't know that I'm going to be permanently sticking to doing this for a hard hour every single morning in the future, but I am going to do it for another week in which I'm not documenting everything, because the whole time I was doing this, within the hour I was literally scribbling down what I did and how long it took so I could make this video. And I feel like documenting for the video kind of took away from the experience. So I'm just gonna do it for another week off camera. I will update you in a future vlog or something though on how it's going and if I'm gonna keep doing it. So while I don't know if I'm gonna stick to doing this for a hard hour every morning, I do think there are some things that I'm going to implement permanently. One of those is that I'm going to put my phone into airplane mode every night before I go to bed. I loved being able to like wake up in the middle of the night and check what time it was without seeing that people had texted me or something. And also just, even if I don't wait the whole hour, being able to choose when in the morning I want to see that stuff. I do think there are some mornings where I would like to be on my phone sooner than an hour out of bed, and I'm gonna listen to that. If I wake up and I'm just ready to go and I'm ready to work, cool, I clearly feel like doing it. So I'm just gonna listen to myself and how I'm feeling more. I think that I definitely was having better mornings over the course of this experiment. I wasn't as stressed out. I'm not sure that it really impacted the rest of my day a whole lot as far as being more productive or anything like that, but it definitely did make my mornings feel a lot more relaxing. It also encouraged me to journal or read or do something like that instead of just aimless scrolling first thing in the morning, which was nice. I hope you found this interesting. I'm a little worried that this video is gonna turn out boring, because I'm sure, you know, not everybody cares what I do within an hour after waking up in the morning when I'm not on my cell phone. But maybe it'll inspire some of you to give it a try, and if you do, definitely let me know. DM me, leave it in the comments, whatever. I want to hear about your experience. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe to my channel for new content every Saturday, and turn on the little bell guy to be notified every time I post. Stay safe, stay healthy, make sure you're drinking enough water, and I will see you next time.